Have you ever found yourself in a hallway like this? It's strange. Sometimes it feels familiar, like a place you've only visited in a half-remembered dream. The walls seem to hum quietly, almost like the building is alive in its own way. The yellow light is flat and a little harsh, spreading across the old linoleum. I notice the marks left behind by shoes, maybe from people who hurried through here years ago. Even though I'm alone, it doesn't really feel empty. There's this sense that other people have just passed by, like their footsteps are still echoing somewhere. I run my hand along the rough wall, just to remind myself I'm really here. The chipped paint catches my eye. Each mark feels like it has a story, but I can't quite figure out what it's saying. The silence here is thick, almost like it's holding on to old conversations that never really ended. I walk slowly and my footsteps sound way too loud. The doors are all closed, with faded brass numbers. I don't even think about trying them. It just feels right to leave everything as it is. The hallway just keeps going, further than I can see. It's almost like there's no end, just this long, quiet stretch of space. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to keep walking or just stand here for a while. Honestly, I kind of like not knowing. You find yourself standing in the atrium of a shopping mall that's been left behind by time. Sunlight slips through the dirty glass ceiling, making the whole place feel strangely peaceful. Dust floats in the air, catching the light. The escalators are still, just stuck there, not going anywhere. The storefronts are all closed up, their signs faded and hard to read. I catch a faint whiff of something sweet. Maybe cinnamon, or maybe I'm just remembering it. I think about holding my mom's hand here, years ago. Now it's mostly just memories that hang around. There's a dry fountain in the middle with a few coins at the bottom. I wonder if anyone ever came back for their wish. The whole place is quiet and dust is slowly taking over. It doesn't really feel like failure, more like the mall is just changing. I don't feel like I'm trespassing. I feel like I'm here to notice what's left. Maybe in losing its old purpose, the mall has found a new one. Just to exist quietly for whoever happens to walk through. I'm not sure what to make of it, but it feels honest. The fog drifts in as the sun goes down. Everything gets quieter, and the world feels a little smaller. I find myself standing at the edge of a playground. The equipment looks almost unreal in this fading light. The swings don't move, empty seats just waiting, like they're expecting someone. The merry-go-round sits there still, no one's coming to spin it. There's no laughter here, just the damp, quiet air settling in for the night. I reach out and touch the cold metal of the slide. It's wet, and for a second I remember what it felt like to race down it as a kid. It's strange how that memory just shows up. These things were made for fun, but right now they just feel kind of sad. Maybe that's just me. Playgrounds hold so many stories, scraped knees, whispered secrets. It's like all of childhood is still here somehow. The fog makes it feel like this place is cut off from everything else, almost like it's floating just for a moment. The old equipment just stands there. It's a quiet reminder that time keeps moving, even if we don't notice. I guess all the fun moments pass, eventually. But there's something peaceful about this stillness too. Maybe that's okay. You find yourself sitting on the edge of a hotel bed, just for tonight. It's not home, and it never will be. The room is plain, almost forgettable. Generic art on the walls, furniture that's just there. It's all designed to be used and then left behind. But in that blankness, there's a kind of comfort. For a little while, this space is yours alone. It feels like a pause, like you're between things. A blank page before the next part of your story. The only real light comes from a bedside lamp. It's warm, but it doesn't quite reach the corners. Outside, the city is just a blur, distant lights, muffled sounds. You can't really tell what's happening out there. You're somewhere between leaving and arriving. not really part of your usual life. Sometimes I wonder about the people who stayed here before me. It's strange, each of us just passing through. This place is really just a threshold, not meant to be remembered. The air conditioner hums quietly. It's the only sound, and somehow it makes the room feel even emptier. With nothing familiar around, you're left with just yourself. It's a little unsettling, but also kind of freeing. The room doesn't ask anything of you. It just holds you quietly for a while. For these few hours, you're kind of floating, just here in the present. I always feel a bit out of place, but maybe that's okay. Memory has a shape to it, almost like a place you can walk through in your mind. Sometimes I wonder if we build these spaces ourselves, or if they just sort of appear. There are memories that feel like a house you used to live in. Everything's still there, just as you remember, or at least you think it is. Other times it's less clear. Just a pattern of light and shadow, maybe a room, maybe not. It's hard to say. These are the in-between places in your mind, where memories start to blur and drift away. The colors fade, sounds get quieter, people turn into shapes you can't quite recognize. You find yourself wandering these mental hallways, reaching for details that slip away the moment you notice them. Forgetting isn't sudden. It's more like a watercolor left out in the rain. The edges just sort of soften. There's a kind of comfort in that, I think. Maybe we're not supposed to remember everything perfectly. Sometimes it's okay to let things blur. Even when the facts are gone, something lingers. I once found an old letter in my attic. Couldn't read most of it, but the feeling stuck with me for days. It's strange how that works. The walls might fall apart, but the feeling of the place, it sort of hangs in the air. Or maybe that's just how I see it. There's something about the way light filters through a dusty window in these forgotten places. It's soft, almost hesitant. The sunbeam catches the dust, and for a second, it all just hangs there. Tiny flecks drifting and glowing. It doesn't really light up the room. Instead, it sort of changes how you see everything. Decay feels a little softer. The neglect a bit less harsh. I remember once running my hand along a wall like this, the paint flaking under my fingers. In that light, even the cobwebs looked, well, almost beautiful. I guess it surprised me. Standing there, you feel the warmth on your skin. It's quiet, but not empty. For a moment, you feel like you belong there somehow. The sunlight shows you the dust, layers and layers of it. It's like you can almost see the years piling up, but it's hard to say exactly what's been lost. Even here, things are always changing, just really slowly. Sometimes I wonder if that's a kind of hope or just the way things go. In the end, you're just another bit of dust, caught in the light for a moment. Then it fades and you're left with whatever you felt. Maybe a little lighter, maybe not. The airport before dawn feels like its own little world. It's quiet, almost like a city that's fallen asleep, with travelers drifting somewhere between time zones. The usual buzz is gone. Instead, there's this deep, shared hush. People curl up on chairs, faces slack with exhaustion. I remember once watching someone use their backpack as a pillow, shoes kicked off, just trying to get comfortable. It made me smile a little. The bright daytime energy is gone. There's a kind of vulnerability here. Everyone's just waiting. Through the glass, the tarmac is dark. You see the blinking lights of planes in the distance. Departure boards flicker through places, Tokyo, London, Buenos Aires, destinations just hanging there, waiting. It's like you're in this in-between space, not really anywhere, but somehow connected to everywhere. The air smells like stale coffee and floor cleaner. It's the scent of being in transit, I guess. You walk past closed shops and silent walkways, like everything's still, and there's something oddly comforting about the emptiness, like you're sharing a secret with the morning just before the world wakes up. Sometimes you catch someone's eye, another tired traveler. For a second, you both know you're in this together. For now, you just wait in the quiet dark. Soon the journey will start again, or maybe it already has. Sometimes you walk down a street and feel a memory that doesn't really belong to you. It's like déjà vu, but you know you've never actually been there before. I don't think it's anything supernatural. Maybe it's just picking up on traces of other people's lives, what's left behind in the air, or in the way the light falls through a window. There's even a word for it. Anemoia. Nostalgia for a time you never lived through. Sometimes I catch myself missing the look of an old diner or the glow of a theatre I never visited. It's a strange kind of homesickness for a place that was never really home. I felt it once, standing in a quiet living room, sunlight coming in just right. For a second, I almost remembered something, but it slipped away. It makes me wonder if memories are only ours, or if they can live in places and things too. Maybe we just pick them up for a while. Cities feel like libraries sometimes, full of stories, waiting for someone to notice them. Every now and then, one just opens up in front of you. I guess we're all just carrying these borrowed feelings for a bit. Maybe that's okay. Empty spaces feel heavy sometimes, like they're holding on to something. Maybe it's just me, but I think that's what makes them special. Or maybe it's something we all feel in our own way. What lingers from these places isn't really a clear image, more like a feeling that sticks with you. Sometimes it's hard to put into words. These spaces settle somewhere inside, like rooms you return to when you need a certain mood or just a bit of quiet. They're kind of like little sanctuaries, quiet places for your mind to rest. I remember once sitting alone in an empty library, just listening to the hum of the lights. It felt oddly comforting. Moving through these in-between spaces isn't really about finding answers. It's more about being okay with not knowing and letting things be a little uncertain. Sometimes just pausing, just sitting in the quiet is enough. Maybe that's where meaning shows up. We tend to see our own need for stillness in these empty places. They kind of mirror what's going on inside us. I guess we carry these places with us. They remind me that there's beauty in the things we usually overlook, or in the spaces between moments. In the end, maybe what stays with us is the shape of the silence. It echoes even after we've moved on. Sometimes when I see sunlight streaming across a bare floor, I remember how those quiet moments felt, simple, a little uncertain, but real. Maybe it's worth asking, what overlooked spaces in your own life are quietly shaping you?